You use your hands every day.
Like a lot of people's first ball is like either basketball, football, or baseball. Like later on down the line, you see something on the ground, they're like, "What is this?" And you just want to use your toe and just kick it as far as you can.
Right,
it's like, no, you don't do that. That's a kickball. This is soccer ball. We do this.
Right. Yeah.
This is what's supposed to. And they're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get out of my seat.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Move with Matt. Today I'm here with Trey Brown, and he's the owner of NextGen Training. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Nice to have you, Matt.
Yeah,
Good
so
to be here.
Let's start it off. How did you get to the Winchester area?
Well, I'm from Royal, but I grew up playing soccer originally in the area. Played soccer in Winchester for a little bit growing up, and went out to the city, and then started coaching, and then now want to come back in the area and try to help build soccer in this area.
And so you've been playing soccer your whole life? Did you?
Been playing soccer since I was 8.
Oh well, yeah, long time.
Yeah, and I'll be in my 40s, so yeah.
And did you play high school around here?
Played Warren County, Warren County. Played we were really bad, so we only played like 2 years because we were not the best.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody usually beat up on us when they came to Warren County. And it usually was a guaranteed win.
Right.
I think we didn't win our first game until like my senior year in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and not even play because it was just like it was
it got kind of old. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was playing club soccer with PWSI then.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was so long ago. Good times.
And did you play college after that, or did you?
Yeah, I played a little stint in Ferrum College.
Okay.
Until I had until my father passed away, and then I came back to the area, and then I caught the coaching bug when I was at college. Thanks to my college coach, still my good friend, Dave Edwards, aka Ted. So he got me into coaching, and I've been doing it since 2002. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what exactly is NextGen Training?
NextGen Training is specialized soccer training for kids. We're focusing on developing technical skills, creativity when it comes to 1v1s, and just fundamentals, basic ball control, being able to be comfortable with all sides of the feet. So bottom of the foot, side, left, right, being comfortable taking players on 1v1. Right. And building up confidence through various drills and interacting with other kids. So we're trying to develop kids to get ready for the next generation of soccer.
And is your program is it one-on-one training, or do you come in and coach a whole team?
So we offer one-on-one training, but right now we have a bunch of small groups. So I have about 6 or 7 small groups, and we're slowly getting more each time. Like we have 4 or 5 more kids coming in, I think within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So it's slowly growing. And
do you see all types of skill levels come in?
Yes, we have beginners when they're just learning how to play. They're soccer ball and they're ready to go. And we also have kids that on first teams at their current club. So
and have you had anybody that's gone D1 college yet? Or
so I actually have 2 girls. So like I said, prior to making NextGen, I had Trey's Total Training, and I started that probably 12 years ago. And then I was doing a lot of coaching in Pennsylvania, and I sent 2 girls to college there. One I had since she was 11, and she actually graduates this year from Penn State Altoona. And then I had another girl I helped for 3-4 years. Her name is Amelia. She's at Juniata, and she's in her junior year right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So those were the 2. Like I said, Sarah was probably the longest, and she's going to graduate this year. She's done, but had her all the way from, like I said, when she was a little kid, she had her little hat on, and then I saw, nobody saw potential. She was just, roaming around. I just moved to the area, and I was already doing private lessons there, so I saw her, took her under the wing, and got all the way up to she got to Division III, and for her struggle it was good. So it was good to have her get to that level. So
yeah, and I'm sure that's satisfying when it's kind of like a teacher in school.
Right.
You teach them all these things, and then you watch them progress.
Right.
And then you get to kind of see them get their wings and fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Amelia's. I was at her signing day, and they said so. I went up to her, drove up to Pennsylvania because I was still in Virginia. Just like during COVID times, I drove up to Pennsylvania. I went to her signing day at her school when she signed for Juniata. So
Oh wow.
I said it was good. I missed Sarah's signing day, but I got invited to hers as well. But yeah, it was a good times. I had one other kid that I had, and I sent him to Ferrum, and he went to he went for a little bit, and I was with him on his signing day too. But he was one of my players when I was coaching, like in Pennsylvania. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so with this program, like what kind of progression are you trying to bring to this area? Like right now, it's kind of like you play rec. Your parents put you in rec soccer. A lot of kids play soccer. I think it's a great starter sport.
Right.
And then you kind of you go to high school if you're good enough, and then you go to college. Maybe not.
Right.
Like what are you trying to do with this program to mix all that up?
Well, there's a big gap in that progress. So they're right now locally they have like National Capital Soccer League, but there's other soccer leagues that are more valuable to help kids to get to college.
Right.
So MLS Next, Girls Academy, and ECNL are all the teams that are in like Northern Virginia. So those clubs that have that are bringing those kids in, high level coaches, high level training, going to high level tournaments, and getting those college scholarships and getting looked at by colleges.
Right.
Starting
Yeah.
at like junior year, getting those conversations. So here, there's a level of soccer that's good, but it always can progress.
Right.
And there's a lot of talent here. So I've seen the level of talent, but
Yeah.
it kind of they get stuck. A lot of people
Right.
don't know there's other things. So what we try to do, we try to expose them to higher level training to get them prepared. So if they would like to go other places to go try out, that they're ready.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you give us an example of some of the skill like drills you're working on?
I do a lot of first touch drills. A lot of my players a lot of parents are noticing when their kids work with me because they're the way they're comfortable with their feet. I encourage using outside of the foot, being comfortable with both sides of the feet. So
Right.
when they're comfortable with their outside of the boot, their ball control is good, and they're able to keep the ball away from the defender.
Right.
A lot of things 1v1s are I teach the kids, more than just a step over, just kicking the ball fast. Individual skill moves help get around the defender.
Right.
If you see the defender going this way, what skill move you're going to use instead of them hesitating when they
Right.
go. So you'll see a lot of kids they'll stutter step and then try to go one way or another way and they lose the ball, and that won't last.
Right. Yeah.
You'll do that for rec soccer, and then after that, you're like, that doesn't work because the defender will come in and be like, thank you, and then it's going
Right.
going the other way. So having those kids build up the confidence, be able to take a player 1v1.
Do you have like certain pet peeves of things that you see like young kids naturally do, like
Toe ball.
boot the ball, toe the ball? You try to get rid of that day one.
Toe ball, yeah. I called it out 2 times this weekend. I heard the toe ball, and it's very distinct, and I could hear it from a mile away. It's just it's a certain sound, the toe hitting the ball, and you're just like, yep. It's like, you use your toe, and I'll hold the tee up. It's like toe ball,
Right.
yeah. But that is the biggest pet peeve. But once they get out of that and they realize, you can use your inside, it becomes a lot easier. Because when I started, I was a toe ball person. I thought that's how you scored.
Right. Yeah.
I used to call it the bullet kick.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, and I think most parents because soccer is becoming more popular, but it's not like football and baseball that's been around forever.
Right.
So I think a lot of parents, when they put their kids in the rec league, they think you do use your toe,
Yeah.
and they're encouraging that. So
Yeah.
then you gotta kind of go in there and reverse it.
Yep. Get rid of the bad habits. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but like I said, we encourage creativity when it comes to 1v1. So we do various individual skills, and then sometimes towards every end of every session, we always end up with doing 1v1s. Kids love it, and then
Right.
I'll showcase their skills. So I use slow-mo camera, and they'll go 1v1, and you can break down their skill move. I think one of the highlights of one of the kids did like 4 back-to-back and scored. and it was like he didn't even think about it. Like it was just a natural thing. He didn't look down and see where he was going. Kept us forward, shook the kid 4
Right.
times and finished, and it was like great. And
Right.
like he didn't realize. I was like, did you know what you did? He's like, no.
It just becomes natural.
Yeah, it's natural. I was like, that's exactly what I want.
Right,
Like
yeah.
what? I was like, I don't want you to think.
Right,
I just want
yeah.
you to do it. Like you're not.
Yeah.
I don't want you to overthink. You're not going to have 3, 4, 5 seconds when a defender's on you. You have half a second.
It just got to be natural.
It has to be a natural thing. So
Right.
repetition, muscle memory is the big thing.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, so we might do the same drill 10, 15 times until it's perfect. But then they're like, we're doing this again. And then we'll do a session that they don't do it. They do the skill and they're like, okay, like
Right, yeah.
I just did that. It's like, yeah, that's why we do it. They're like, okay. I was like, all right.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now it's like, now you realize like it's a process, like it takes time. Like this wasn't supposed to be like a thing, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
This was kind of like one of my friends, me and his sister have been friends for like forever. And he
Right.
told me when his son was born, he was like, I'm gonna get you to train my son. And I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
all right. I was like, all right, that's fine. Just let me know. And then like last year, he was like, I'm ready for you to train my son.
Right.
I was like, let's go. Started off with 4.
Yeah. So you kind of fell into this. You didn't
Yeah.
like set out to be an entrepreneur, but
Nope.
here you are.
Not even close. As I was
Yeah.
I was a banker during the day. So, go do my banking thing during the day, go to McLean, come back home, do the loop. And and it was like started training a couple times a week, and then it was like we're starting to see something.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then he told a couple people more. There was like, oh, I got another couple people. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like 20 people.
Oh wow.
I'm just like, okay, like this is becoming the thing. And then
Right.
people were asking me, it's like, hey, can we train? Can we do this? We want to join you. It was like, all right, now this is becoming a bigger thing. And
Right,
then
yeah.
like December, I left my full-time job and I wanted to pursue this full time because
Wow.
the need was out there.
Right.
And people were like constantly saying, hey, we want to join, we want to train. Can we get a session? Can we, can we evaluate my kid?
Yeah.
So I'm like, guess I'm going back to full-time coaching. And I've been like loving it ever since. Like it was, like I said, it wasn't supposed to be like this,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it just kind of just became this. And then with the help of, Shauna and Daniel, like we helped start this next
Right.
gen.
So
Right.
do you have a whole coaching staff under you? Or
Right,
you're
right
the
now,
co-
right now it's just me. I have like somebody that helps run the Facebook page, and I have like Shauna helps with like coordination. So right now we had NextGen Select, and we just did a tournament in Scranton this past weekend. We did a 5v5 tournament. We were supposed to do one in December, but it got canceled. So we ended up going to Scranton this past weekend, and we did like extremely well. We went 3-1, and we lost one game against a team that we probably should have won.
Right. Yeah.
If we would have played, there were short halves, but we probably should have won. But it was a good challenge for us. But we ended up getting second place in the tournament, and that
Oh,
was our
wow.
first time for a lot of the boys. So that helped us out a lot.
Right.
And we want to continue to do that. My goal is to have like 3 other teams have like another boys team, a younger boys team, and then 2 girls teams. But right now it's just me.
Right.
If we do get that big, I have a couple people in mind I would love to bring on board. A couple of local coaches that I know, but it's beginning to be something that's going to help develop soccer
Right.
in this area. So like I said, like I got quite a few parents that already can tell, like, oh, their kid been working with Trey, or then your kid goes to NextGen, and it's like, oh, we can see it, or and the words kind of get slowly through the
Right.
Winchester soccer community. So
And do you find there's a lot of challenges with opening a business and running the business? 'Cause it's not just coaching anymore. Now you got
Right.
like
Yeah.
QuickBooks and
yeah, we lucky for me, I got a little program that helps out with that. But like the next thing, like I said, like we're using a facility right now, but the next thing is to have a full-time like facility for me. So that's, I said, one of the the challenges is next because, we're in Virginia. You never know what the weather's going to be. It could be 70 one day and then 2 feet of snow
Right.
a week later, and that kind of shuts down. You can have access to the fields, or we usually go like to the tennis courts to train just because the ball bounces and helps with the
Right.
ball,
Yeah.
ball control. But that's the only challenge right now. Just trying to build. Like I said, like we have somebody who helps with our Facebook page, and she's doing a great job with that, and
Right.
helped with getting the exposure out there so we can kind of build. Like I said, like we just made this like public to more people probably like November.
Oh wow.
So
it's
so it
brand
hasn't
new.
so it hasn't been like super a lot of people hasn't been talking about it yet.
Right,
So,
yeah.
like right now we're kind of like in one community,
Yeah.
and a lot of kids from that community come, but we're trying to kind of expand it to get a little
Yeah.
bit more exposure. So
Yeah.
because like I said, like it's just helped to develop,
Right.
in Northern Virginia, it's competition. There's so many clubs. There's MLS Next. There's Girls Academy. There's ECNL. And those kids have trainers. Every kid has maybe one or two
Oh, wow.
trainers. So on top of their normal practices, their individual work. And if you don't, like you're far behind, and your coach can probably tell. Like my team, I think by every single girl has one. So
wow.
it's like you do your job and then have somebody else help you out on the side to help you get developed.
It's almost like professional athletes.
Yeah.
Like when practice is over, it's not over for the day. You're doing
Going back outside, or the next day, you might have a day off from your practice, but you're going to go do a training session. And
Are
it
you-
just helps because, again, like you and I, we're old school area soccer players. We didn't have this growing up.
Right,
we
yeah.
were the cycle rec soccer, probably play club soccer local, high school, and then maybe go to college, and then you're pretty much done. And if your kids do it, you start to cycle all over
Right.
again. But that's how it is. But now you want to try to offer something because now there's a lot more opportunities for these
Right,
kids now. Like the Girls Academy is big.
Yeah.
MLS Next, that's direct with the MLS pro teams.
right.
So especially here, with Loudoun and all those places, Loudoun United, DC United, they have access. We're not that far. So, those
Yeah.
kids, if they ever want to go, they have to be prepared.
Right. Yeah. You gotta be ready. Yeah.
And it's like the same thing for like high school and college. That's another area we're going to look to tap into soon, is the high school and college kids, and get those kids ready.
Yeah.
Because that summer of college, before you go, and you want to be fit.
Right.
Because, I remember my first day, I ran 5 miles and I was not happy.
Right. Yeah. Not fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not happy. So, you got to get kids, mentally prepared and things like that. So like I said, like it starts when they're young, like I think our youngest person, I think is like 7.
Oh, wow.
And, start to get them develop,
Yeah.
and like right now, I think our oldest person is 14. So, they'll be going into high school soon.
Right.
We got to get them ready because they're,
Right.
JV soccer, different than I think playing club soccer,
Right.
and especially if you do both, you got to manage all that. So, yeah, so we're just trying to get those kids like prepared because again, like there's a lot of opportunities when it comes to soccer,
Right. Yeah.
like Kristen Pulasik's from Hershey, it's like 2 hours away. So, it's not like it's not possible,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing training, you're not just doing skills and stuff. Are you doing like speed training, weightlifting? Or?
Well, we don't do any weightlifting for the kids right now because they're young, but we do a little bit of agility stuff, fast feet. But a lot of it's first touch, getting those
Right.
kids comfortable,
Yeah.
directional touch, making sure they're getting the ball in the right direction, receiving the ball with the right foot,
Right.
because a lot of kids receive with the with wrong foot, and I'm like, that's why you can't turn that way. And I even like I even call them out when they do it now, and I'm like, wrong foot, they're like, oh, and they'll
Right,
and next
yeah.
time they do it, they'll watch and pay attention, and I'll see them actually take their time to actually do it
Yeah.
because now they're like, I did it wrong the first time.
Yeah.
So-
So do you think in soccer, should you be as comfortable on both feet?
Oh, absolutely.
But you can, you're still going to have a dominant foot.
Yeah. So
You
I mean, you
should-
can be like, if you're right foot and you can still use your left, you're golden because
Yeah.
because a lot of people are not that comfortable with their left foot.
Right.
I hate my left foot.
I think you can go further in soccer, at least in this area, if
Yeah.
you are left-footed, because
Right.
it's rare.
Right. I know
So,
I have like 2 or 3 left-footed kids. I'm like, whew. I was like, if you put left foot on the right side, and then I
Yeah.
have a right-footed player on the left side, and I was like 2 wingers. I was like, it's a wrap.
right.
I
Yeah.
was like, that's goals. I was
Yeah.
like, because they're just going to cut in and shoot with their favorite foot every single time, and you're not going to probably stop that.
right. Yeah.
So,
Do you have a lot of people that come in that can't use both feet,
Yeah.
and then you watch them progress and
yep,
they learn? Yeah.
yep. It's nice. I know I have kids. It's like one kid. He always says like, I hate my left foot, and then I think he actually scored with his left foot. So like I say,
Yeah.
it just because they don't work. A lot of kids don't work with their left. They're just strictly work with their right foot, and then
Yeah.
that's it. But you got to be comfortable with your
Yeah.
left.
I mean, when you hear that, probably as a coach, you're probably like, "Good, we're only going to use left now."
Yep. I was like, yep. I was like, yes, let's focus on our left foot just for today. And then
Right. Yeah.
never like, all right, right side. And it's like, no, now you gotta go to the left. So I make sure we'll either start with the right and then we'll switch over to the left. So they have no choice. So they have to get comfortable. It might be
Right.
sloppy, first couple of times. And then they're like, I was like, see how nice this is now? You're like, yeah, I know. I was like, you just scored your left? They're like, yeah. And it's like, oh, I thought you hate your left foot. And I was like,
Right,
yeah. All right, coach. Yeah. It's like, so
Yeah.
it's not impossible. You just
Right.
gotta work at it, It's like not like you're writing with your left hand, shooting
Right.
with your left hand, ball control with your left. You do it a couple hundred times, it'll be good. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Do you have kids that come in and they're afraid to use their head?
So right now they're just transitioning to using their heads. So I
Yeah.
think only 2 of them are able to do it right now, and then next year the rest of them. So I have a bunch of 2013s that are still at 99, and then
Okay.
they'll be able to start using their head.
Oh, so there's rules in place where
Right.
you're not allowed to
can't-
use your head.
Yeah, and you got to be 11v11.
Okay.
Pretty sure you have to be 11v11 to use your head.
Yeah. No slide tackling, all that.
It's not tackling, all that stuff is fine, but they just want
Yeah.
trying to prevent the
Right.
head injuries.
Yeah. No,
And plus,
that's
a
smart.
lot of people don't teach them how to do it right. So we do teach them, but it's like 1 round or 2 rounds. So you're not getting like 10 headers in a row. You do like 2, and then
Right, yeah.
we're going about it because it's not at that age. They're not going to bring the ball down with their head anytime
Right.
soon.
Yeah.
If they do, they're going to be like this, that little head scrunch thing, and they're going to try to brace themselves, and it's going to hurt a lot,
Right,
a lot more.
Yeah, because like high school, you're probably using your head a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's gonna hurt a lot less if you go into it confident
Right.
and not scared.
Yeah,
Because it just you hit the wrong spot and it's gonna hurt.
right. Yeah. So, like I said, like we trying to build it up. So, we'll work on offensive headers and defensive headers, like two rounds max, and then we'll just go on about
Yeah.
it. Because again, like they're not going to be bringing it down. I would probably prefer them to bring it down with their chest at this age versus their head.
Right.
And
yeah.
then once they get older, then they can get comfortable with bringing it down with their
Yeah.
head.
And are you doing goalie training too?
I do have some. I haven't, since we're inside, I haven't had a chance to really work on the goalie stuff.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of finishing, but it's on small side goals,
Right.
like puck goals. But once we go back outside, we will do work on goalie stuff. So I do
Okay.
have a pretty amazing goalie that I want to start working with right now. So he just joined in. He did phenomenal this weekend.
Oh, really? Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, like this past weekend, what the boys did, you can see the development that we've been going through. So, saying the original 4 started back in like April, May, and then the rest of the kids started like throughout the rest of the year. And I think the last one joined in like October-ish.
Okay.
So, and all those kids, well, other than the newest goalkeeper, but all those kids been working with me for at least 8 months.
Oh, wow.
So, and then we were playing against teams we never played before, completely different state, completely different area, against some pretty even competition for the most part.
Right.
And they excelled really well. And you
Wow.
can see the things that I'm trying to accomplish are starting to pay off with their play. And like I
Right.
said, there was one of the goals where they the 3 just combined, and it was probably, that goal gave me goosebumps.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was saying that's one of the moves that we practice on. And I was just like, I was like, boys. I was like, that was good, man.
It's
That was
all
like,
paying off.
yeah. It's like that goosebumps feeling you get when they do something that you've been practicing with them on.
Right.
It's like that satisfaction that you get, and they're like, yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
So do you encourage when you're coaching? Are you encouraging them to always kind of think of the whole team when you're playing? Like I've seen it in high school when I played, and center midfielders and stuff. If they're really good, have really good footwork,
Right.
it's really easy to go in there and want to like embarrass somebody and,
Right,
and
yeah.
meg them or something.
Right.
That might not be the best thing for the team.
Yeah. No, so I mean with us, every now and again I would like, I kind of have them structured. So like I told them this weekend, if it's, less than 5, you're structured, you got to score. I was
Yeah.
like, but if it's more than 5, go ahead, have some fun. Have your freedom, try some things.
Yeah.
I was like, the worst thing that happened, they score a goal, we just revert back to what we were doing and we just stop them from scoring again.
Yeah, you got to let them have fun and
Yeah.
show off their skills.
Yeah, so I mean, we had a couple like one or two kids like ran through the whole entire team and scored a goal. I mean, I was like, go ahead, beat them all.
Right.
Yeah, and
If you can do it, why not?
Yeah, and he did. I think he did like 3 or 4 times actually. So it was actually pretty impressive. So I said
Yeah.
like there's a lot of kids that have a lot of potential here, but again, they're just like they don't know what's over the mountain. So like my goal was to give them that over the mountain training
Right.
here in Winchester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause if they make it to college, they're going to see it.
Yeah,
Because you might be the best player here. You go
Right.
to college, everybody's the best player.
right. Or you might be the best player here, and you go to over the mountain, and you're not.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and there's a kid who's the exact same size as you, but he trains 4 times a week and plays on 2 club teams at futsal and does this, and you just play 1 travel team and you train 2 times a week, but you're same age, same size, but he just works a little bit harder than you,
Right. Yeah.
right? And that's what happens. Like those parents want their kids to be high level soccer players, or I mean that's any sport. Like there's like lacrosse, field hockey, and all that stuff, but like
Right.
soccer in that area is like cutthroat. Like I said, like, okay, you cut my kid, that's fine. Or my kid's not getting playing time, that's fine. I'm gonna go there. But so I want to prepare those kids to like be able to compete with those high level kids because
Right.
they're not, those kids take soccer seriously.
Yeah. So there's a lot more opportunity in Northern Virginia
Yeah.
for soccer, you're saying?
Right, yeah, because there's only like 1 club out this area, 1 or 2 clubs out this area. And then out there there's like, 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You got a lot of options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's with like, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So
Right.
I'm saying there's a lot of opportunities there, but that's where the highest level of soccer, like in United States, is California, like
Oh,
Texas
wow.
and Texas, but like Northern Virginia is like always top because, like I said, like we have
Right.
right outside DC, we get a lot of influx of like kids like from overseas because their parents come in,
Right.
stuff like that, so they get that high level training, or they're bringing. So like I have a girl from Germany on my team,
Oh, wow.
so it's like we're getting in kids from other countries. So
Right. That's cool.
yeah, so it's like I said, like the soccer in the area, like eventually it would be nice to get to there where they offer these high level,
Right.
programs for these kids so they don't have to go that far. So
Yeah.
it's
And do you kind of teach your kids like the importance of different styles of cleats? Like kangaroo leather is obviously better than if you go to
so
Walmart.
it's weird now because there's so many different cleats and boots. Like they have, back in our day, they have black, white, and gold. They have pink, yellow, light blue, 3 different colors and all that stuff. But a lot of it is synthetic thing. But the main thing is like they have soccer cleats now that are like the firm ground, but they're made for turf, but they're not turf cleats.
Right.
So they have like extra couple of studs in there.
Yeah.
So, but right now I try to have them, they just wear indoor shoes. So it's
Right.
it's not too much,
Yeah.
too big of a difference. But and I don't think they know anything about, good old kangaroo leather boot because
Not yet. Yeah.
they wouldn't be able to take care of it. I don't think you can find Chelsea shoe leather anywhere to get the toothbrush in this.
Right. Yeah.
Get them nice and clean,
I remember we had like soccer.com
Yeah.
and you look in the magazine and then you call them and tell them the number you want to order.
Yep, they still have that.
Still have all that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just now it's online. You could do everything online. But yeah, I still get the magazine. That was my favorite time. It's like, oh yeah, see the
Right,
new
yeah.
shoes. I still get now. It's like because my favorite shoes are the Predators, but like the Predators are coming back out, and I'm like, man, I don't play. I was like, but it would just be nice just to have them,
Right. Yeah.
because it's like nostalgia purposes. 20 years ago that was the shoe to have, and now they're bringing them back, and they look really nice.
Yeah.
You're like,
That is cool.
yeah.
So what position did you play?
I played striker, left wing. I played goalkeeper when I was like younger, but
Are you left-footed or no?
Right foot.
Right foot?
Yeah, so I would cut in. So
Yeah.
that's how I was taught to play. So
So do you find it hard to coach other positions that aren't on offense since you're an offensive player?
so that's funny. So you'll see different style coaches based on their position.
Yeah.
So like most forwards that are attacking minded, like they play like attack, they want goals. Like, other coaches that are like played like midfield, they like possession. They don't kind of like want like control, like kind of want to control the game and everything.
Right, yeah.
And then defenders that play defenders, they'll either be like very defensive minded, they kind of want to park the bus and kind of build. But it kind of depends. Like for me, I want goals. So like I'm not satisfied if you're not scoring like 2 and 3, 4 goals. Like
Right.
I like 5-goal games. I don't really care if the other
I mean,
team's upset.
that's the fun part to watch.
Right. Yeah. Like I want to see a goal. I want to see you take a person on, score a goal, team goal. Like that's what you want to see. Like a cool possession's fine. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to see you keep the ball for 90 minutes.
Right.
Like, like,
Yeah, that's no fun.
yeah, like put the ball in the back of the net. Hurry up.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So being that way, I like to have the kids score goals. So like I said, like very, very attacking minded. So said like I can teach defending, but I'm not the best at it. You don't want to put me back there because you'll probably get scored on.
Yeah, they'll probably put you back there, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're up top.
Yeah.
You're like, what is he doing up
Yeah, I
there?
was like, I can teach it. I was like, but me playing wise, I was like, nah. I was like, I might go in there just for fun. I was like, and then, but that's stuff like I'm messing around with the girls. I know there's no competition, but on the real game, nope.
Right. Yeah, not for you.
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't
And
do that.
When you guys, so do you have somebody that organizes all the trips and stuff when you guys travel?
Yes.
That books hotels and all that?
Well, we have a person who helps like organize stuff. So like I've helped somebody who helps on the Facebook page, and then we have like a Team Snap page, and then that way we post like the trainings, and we have like a group chat for all the parents that are on the select team, and she kind of organizes that stuff, helps with like sorting out the rooms,
Right.
planning the trips. They did like little team bonding where they went out to get food.
Okay.
So we kind of get them all together, make sure everybody's all on the same page. Helps with like the jerseys and organize and all that stuff.
Yeah.
She's here, but you just can't see her.
Right.
But
yeah.
but she helps out like a lot. So like she's a massive part of this because I'm unorganized. So
Yeah,
she helps.
somebody-
She helps with all that because if it wasn't, woof,
Yes.
it would not be. The NextGen would not be where it's at right now. So
Yeah. Somebody's got to run the show behind the scenes.
yeah, and she definitely helps with that. So like I said, on top of that, her kid is like one of the top players in the group. So
Okay.
yeah, he has like I said, he's one of the original 4, and like I said, that original 4 has a bunch of potential. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And so can anybody join your program?
Yep.
You don't have to try out or anything?
Nope. Like I said, like I encourage. I like for beginners.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are just getting started, because again, like soccer is not as easy as they think, especially in the beginning, because it's not just kick and run. It's a
Right.
lot more. You got to be good with your ball control. I mean,
Right,
just
yeah.
even like running with the ball. Dribbling with the outside of your foot. You don't want to dribble with the inside. Like just kick the ball down the side. Like you got to be comfortable with it. So like just simple as dribbling with the ball.
Yeah.
Don't
It's probably one of the hardest sports. It's the most accessible, I think, because
Yeah.
it's like the cheapest to probably enter into. But using your feet's not natural.
right.
So we use our hands every day.
Yep.
So at
It's,
least that's
you
my
know,
opinion.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Because people are not going to throw. You play catch. Use your hands.
You use your hands every
Yeah,
day.
like a lot of people's first ball is like either basketball, football, or baseball. Like later on
Yeah.
down the line, you see something on the ground, they're like, "What is this?" And you just want to use your toe and just kick it as hard as you can.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like, no, you don't
Yeah.
do that. That's a kickball. This
Yeah.
is a soccer ball. We do this.
Right. Yeah.
This is what's supposed to. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by, well, me. If you're looking at buying or selling in Virginia or West Virginia, I'm Matt Kilmer with eXp Realty, ready to help you with all your real estate needs. Whether it's finding the perfect home or selling your current one, I've got you covered. Reach out to me below and let's make a move. All right, back to the good stuff. Have you ever seen any good like players that you coach that went and played football as well as kickers? Because the football coaches always want to recruit soccer players.
No, but it's probably going to happen at some point. I did have a kid when I was doing club soccer here. one of his friends did both. He was a really good soccer player, but ended up going like to JMU, like to kick for football.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
he was a good soccer player, like state soccer player or something like that.
Yeah.
And then went to JMU to go kick. But that's what he said. I don't know if it really happened or
Yeah,
not.
it seems
But,
like all the
but
kickers
I
play
mean,
soccer.
it's a lot of time I think like the Grammaticas or whatever, like the kickers for NFL. I think there's whatever the ones that broke with their legs. Yeah, like those people. I think they were all like soccer people. And
Okay.
I think some of them even use like a boot, like a regular soccer boot to kick.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
have their football cleat and then their soccer boot on the other foot.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So overall, kind of like, is there any kind of message that you want to get out there about this program?
I just want to get help these kids develop. You know, if you're looking to get into soccer, if you want to see, you know, how training can be, you know, things to get and improve on, you know, because no matter how old you are, you're always going to have to work on it.
Right.
You know, you never really lose it, but you always something to work on. You know, so even sometimes, you know, I'll mess around and I was like, oh, coach still got it, even though I've done it like a million times beforehand. You know,
Right, yeah.
So it's like I want to create them so they're comfortable. You know, like I want them to have confidence, and when they're able to go against an opponent, they're not overthinking and taking time to think about it. Because when you get to the next level, when you get to college, when you get to ECNL, MLS, next, all those local youth clubs, professional, they're like that. It's no waiting. They might wait if they know that you have some skill, but they're waiting for you for a reason. And they're end up going to beat you one-on-one.
Right.
But they got to understand it's not, you don't go and you stop. You know, you have to have, you just can't do a shuffle and think to get around a defender. Like, you have to be creative. You know, you have to be able to think on a fly. You have to be able to know, like, if that ball is coming this way and there's a defender coming there, what am I going to do? You know, like, oh, I have two people in front of me. Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
It's like, oh, here's the goalie here. I have a person here. Can I take this person one-on-one and shoot? You know, and they have to think about that all in like milliseconds.
Right.
You know, or they're going to be like, here's, I'm going against you and I'm scared, so I'm going to go past him and pass backwards because I don't want to go against 1v1.
Right.
Or it's like, oh, here's the ball 1v1. Oh, thank you. Let me take you on 1v1. Or let me try to beat you 1v1.
Yeah.
And if I get past you, I'm going to go to goal.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to score and look back at you and say, thank you. Let me score.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have a lot of
Yeah.
kids, like, it's kind of natural to want to like stab and stuff to get the ball.
Yep.
How do you kind of
Teach them the
attack that?
defensive stance and tell them, because you do get a lot of people just dive in.
Yeah.
So, but then a lot of kids also are learning how to slide tackle, which is good and bad.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's good as long as they do it correctly, but if they do it the wrong way, you know, that's a PK, or you can like
Take out the
a
person and not even
right.
get the ball.
Yep. Yeah. You know, that's a yellow card, red card, depending on, you know, what level you're at. But, you know,
Right.
like when we do our 1v1s, there's kids sliding around, stopping the ball, and we're inside, which I
Right.
think is hilarious. But
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how that doesn't hurt, but, you know, that's your kid. So me,
Right, yeah.
I would be hurt for like at least 2-3 days.
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, like I want to have them to be comfortable, you know, be able to make their decision making quickly, you know, if they don't have to panic, you know. Like I said, the first thing I tell them is like, this is no pressure zone.
Yeah.
Like if it takes you 25 times to do it, that's fine. I'm not going to go back and tell your coach, it's like, hey, Susie took 25 minutes to do a step over. You should probably bench her. Or
Right, yeah.
little Johnny did 15 goals in training today. You should probably start him every game.
Yeah.
Like that's not my place.
So are you checking in with the coaches and no?
No, I usually get evaluated. The parents usually tell me, and it's like, though a lot of it's word of mouth, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, you know, we saw your kid do this, and it was great." Like, they're being comfortable with it,
Right.
or they're like, "Oh, I see the improvement in my kid," and I see it, you know, like you know, and then I have other parents telling me, "It's like, hey, when did your kid do this? Like, wow, your kid has got better. Like, what are they doing?"
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, whispering and they're trying to see.
Right.
Because again, like, you know, there's long breaks in between soccer, especially like between wintertime. Like, you know, you're done in November, you don't really go back outside to like April.
Right.
That's a long time of not touching the soccer ball.
Right. Yeah.
And unless you are, but right, you know, in a lot of these areas, they don't have soccer full time.
Yeah.
So I mean, here it's fine because I do have soccer full time. But if you take that break in between,
Yeah.
that's a lot. You lose it, and most
Right.
of the times you're playing video games and not going outside and being active.
Right. Yeah.
And then you would come back outside and think you still have it, and you're like falling over top of the ball because you haven't trained in 4 or 5 months.
Right. Yeah.
You've been training video games or snacking all day,
Right,
all
yeah.
day long. Yeah, so
You're trying to build that confidence.
Right.
I mean, because when let's say you're in 5th grade, you get off the bus, you want to go home, you want to relax,
Right.
whatever. You want to be a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm sure once they start learning these skills and stuff and getting better, and you're praising them, they want to come back, and they're motivated.
These kids want to train. Like
Yeah.
like I think one kid there was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" He wants to train, right? He wanted to train for his birthday.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
He
awesome.
wanted to work with me for his birthday. That's his birthday present.
Yeah,
He
there
didn't
you
want to go have. I mean, it's of course his other friends would be there with him, but it's like,
Yeah,
you wanted to do soccer on your birthday. That's dedication, sir.
right. Yeah,
Because most kids was like, let me go do this, let me do that. Let's go. You still go out to eat and all that stuff, but it's like, you want to spend your day doing soccer? Absolutely, sir.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
go ahead. Let's go train.
and are you trying to like teach them the importance of nutrition and stuff at a young age?
Some of the kids I do kind of check on to make sure they are eating healthy, kind of messing with them a little bit. It's like, you've been eating right, not snacking and everything today. But, like I think most of the parents kind of, and like it's age right now, it's not, I don't think a lot of these kids be eating out like that. I think a lot of them are eating like home meals. So
Right. Yeah.
it's got me. When we go on the road, that's fine. But like I think they are actually getting good meals. And I saw at the tournament this weekend there was nothing but healthy snacks. So I know that they're getting treated pretty well at home. So
Right, yeah.
I think the nutrition part. But I mean, like I told them the night before, like don't stay up all night. Don't be like eating stuff heavy before the games. Like eat like at least eat something in the morning if you have an early game.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of kids won't eat and expect to have a full of energy off the food that already digested from the night before. It's like,
Right.
that's not how that works. Like
Yeah,
you
it's not
gotta have a little bit of something. So like,
Right.
make sure they have a snack in between eating healthy. They were passing out bananas and little like Uncrustables just for snack. I want to give them a little bit of energy. And then like I said, like because we had like a 2-hour break. So, which was kind of bad, but
Right.
in between it, like, get them hydrated, get them working and moving around and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
So
And are you able to like share like pricing and stuff? What it
Yeah.
would cost?
yeah, so right now we have group sessions are $35 per person, and if you do individual training sessions, they're $40 per person. If you want to just do a trial, we have a 30-minute trial session where it's just $20. You come in and
Okay.
try just to see, and that's usually for like the beginners.
Right.
For the ones 6, 7, they're just trying soccer, just transitioning into soccer.
Yeah.
Some of them that are either like trying to go first time going to soccer, trying rec, or making that transition from rec to for the first time doing travel.
Okay.
So those kids, so they have a couple of different prices, but a lot of people like the groups. So a lot of them will get their friends on their teams, talk to other couple of parents. It's like, hey, we're going here, and get like 4 or 5 of them, and then we all do sessions together. I
Right.
like the group sessions because of course it creates like camaraderie with the boys
Right.
and interacting with different skill levels and different kids. Because I
Yeah.
have boys and girls train together, and it's always fun to have the girls go against the boys.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the girls embarrass the boys, and they're like, "You just got beat by a girl," and they're like, "No." So it's like it's fun little competition for
Right.
them. But just getting them all together, being comfortable with different skill levels and different size players. Because I know I have, there's some 9-year-olds that are 5'5", and there's some 9-year-olds that are like 4'2". So
Right, yeah.
it's you got to get them. They're all the same age, but you got to make sure they're playing, same level kids. Just get them comfortable.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like the $40 for solo session, 35 per group session, and then let's say the $20 for that. We also just entered silent raffle at James Wood for their, not offered up a $200 training session package,
Okay.
and that's at the I'm not sure when it is, but whenever the James Wood silent auction is, I did donate to that. So they got a
Okay.
$200 session. So it's 2 solo sessions and 3 group sessions. You
Okay.
bring your friends and you get your stuff for free. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if a parent wants to sign up their kid, did they go to your website? Did they
so
call
right,
you?
so right now I do have my business cards, and we do have an email. It's nextgenvirginia.com. We do have a Facebook page, and we do have a team stat that we do. But you kind of contact the Facebook page, and then we kind of get in contact with you that way, because the Facebook page, it's open to contact us, but it's a private group. Just trying to keep it, because I actually didn't think it was going to be that big, but I think we're almost at 100 people.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna go.
Yeah, so it was
than you think.
it started at like 8, and then just kept on more, and every day I'm seeing like more people, and then we post our sessions every week. We have 1v1 meet, we have 1v1 Fridays, 1v1 Fridays, 1v1 Sundays, where we're just playing, we're gonna skill moves and just showcase it. And I do it in slow motion, and then so they can see. They always like to watch themselves, but they watch themselves in slow motion. It's like extra cool for them,
right? Yeah,
and they can actually see what they're doing because it's broken down. It's not 1,000 miles an hour. It's like, yeah, okay, I see it, but it's like, look, you did this, oh, and then you went this way. They're like, oh, it's like, oh, it looks nice, and it's like, yeah.
Right.
Did you think about it? Nope. Great.
That's what you want.
That's what I want. I don't want you to overthink.
Are you guys watching like film at this age, or that's a little too young?
I actually got the film from the game that we lost this weekend. Actually going to have that film. They are going to watch it because there was a lapse. There was like a 3-minute lapse where we just lost it, and that's how they got on us. They capitalized on us.
Yeah.
But after that 3 minutes, we figured it out. But it was too little, too late. Because again, it's a 24-minute game. If it was like a 40-minute game, like 220s, probably would have been a whole different story. But with it being short,
right,
we ended it 5-3.
Yeah.
I said, but it was just like too little, too late. But we do have the video from that game, so they're going to watch it, and
cool.
so they can see.
That's the best way to learn.
Yep, it starts.
Yeah.
Like I said, we didn't have access to that when we were.
No, not till high school. You don't watch film.
I know you can't have a parent with the camera on the shoulder watch a video game in the game.
Not a great angle.
VCR, pop the video in. Watch it.
Yeah.
Back picture quality. No, so they have the VO camera, and they're going to send it over to me. The coach and I are pretty good friends. Right. So it was actually pretty good to see him. I worked help with that club like a long time ago. Okay. And it was good to see him and the progress. So it was like three kids that I knew that were on that team, and they made like a lot of progress. So I was like, it was good. It was like a little friend banter because like he hasn't been coaching. They started there. They haven't been up there that long. I think I had a couple club teams and everything. Yeah. But like coming against me, and it's just like it was a good battle. So we had a little bit of banter. So, but it was good. It was like friendly competition. So I was like, we're going to rematch. Right. I was like, there. I was like, there's another tournament in a couple weeks that we're going to go. It's like around the same area. I was like, so we'll see you again. He was like, we'll be there. I was like, all right, we'll rematch.
So, makes it fun for you.
Yeah, like I said, like these kids are, I'm building like these smaller teams to compete in like these 5v5 small sided tournaments. Yeah. And like I said, it's fun. Like I said, we had a pretty good competition yesterday. I want to try to get a girls team. There's a group of like 2016 boys that are really, really good. And I'm going to try to get next. Okay. Like I said, in the top of the girls team. So I'm looking to probably have like 4 small-sided groups, teams to like start to compete in these little tournaments. Like I said, it was fun. Like I said, we went to Scranton this weekend. We're looking at going to another one like South Abington in Pennsylvania, Perryville, and then like Pittsburgh or something like that, I think. Okay. So just gonna be exposure, it's fun going against places, like it's always fun to play your friends, but play somebody else that you try to challenge.
Yeah, that's how you get better.
It's like, and I say it's the social aspect too, it's like, and especially for the parents, it's like to get parents that don't really know each other, get them all together on the same page, because that hey, their kids being part of something that has potential to be something great. Right. Let's all get on the same page, because 9 times as long as they're happy, they're going to be stuck together for a while. Right. So especially these days, their kids are only going to 6th grade next year. Oh wow. So they still got like 8 more years. Right. Yeah, together. Yeah. Yeah. So they have a long time to still do this before they even graduate. So. It's going to be good for them to keep them developed, keep them engaged, and as I said, just help grow the soccer in this area. Right. Yeah. Because it's a lot of talent here. And we said we were both products of this area. You know, we did our thing soccer wise. So
Yeah, just a
it's
lot different now.
yeah, it's just a lot different now. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, you and I both, we didn't have access to these type of things, and you can imagine how the soccer would have been if we had access to this 20 years ago.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
I know there was a couple people, but like not anybody who had like the access to really do what they wanted to do. So
Yeah, and the thing is now, I mean, now that you're around, or other programs if they come or whatever,
Yeah.
now the kids are getting better.
right,
So the high school teams are getting better.
right. That's the
So
goal.
if you kind of skip this thing, then you're
Yeah.
going to be way behind.
Yeah, and that's the goal. You know, like the high school around here, you know, the Hanleys, the Sharandos, the James Wills, they're, you know, I think the girls went like states or something like that, and Hanley was always good back in our day. So it's
Yeah.
like we get those kids and they start developing here, and that helps the area build better for soccer.
Right.
So when they're going, you know, they're playing those teams outside the area, they're beating them up because they're on the same level. Because
Right,
you
yeah.
know, a lot of those kids are like ECNO level kids. So it's like, well, we're getting the same training over here. We're not ECNO, but we can still compete.
Right,
So
yeah.
so it's nice. Like I said, that's the next goal, is try to build up
Yeah.
that area. So
Oh, perfect. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
coming on today.
yeah, appreciate it.
Excited to kind of get the word out for you. And yeah, definitely if you guys out there you have kids that play soccer, then reach out to Trey and
Yep.
he'll be happy to.
Yep. NextGen Training in Virginia is it's for the email. We just find us on Facebook. I was saying we're on there, so you can search us on there. Reach out to the group page, send us a message. Like I said, we'll get you added in, and you can get us get your daughter or son working. So the goal is to help get your kid better. You know?
Right.
It takes time, and soccer is not something that just, you know, there are athletes, you know, they're really good, but if you don't hone in on your skills, you know, you're kind of left out in the
Yeah,
cold.
you're limiting yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you work on your skills, help get better. You know, that's more access to high school, club, college, maybe even pro if you ever go that far.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So
If you send somebody to the pros, we're
Oh.
going to have you back here and you're going to let us know about it.
hey, give me a couple years to see what we can do.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, like enjoy being on here. Thanks for having me on here for today. You know, like I said, wanted to jump on an opportunity to get the word out about what we're trying to do here in the area. I said like it's something positive. Like I said,
Yeah.
the biggest step was us placing second this weekend in this tournament, and we're only trying to build from there. So again, if you're interested in getting your kids in soccer, you know, age doesn't matter. I kind of started like 7, you know, but if you're ready to get your kid into soccer, interested in learning more about what we do, you know, just give us a reach. We'll get back to you as soon as we can and kind of go from there.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a
Yep.
good day.